Stephen Edwin King is an American author and screenwriter, one of the most famous writers of horror literature of the last quarter of the 20th century. During his successful career, he has published more than 60 works, including novels and collection of short stories, which came regularly in the bestseller list, selling a total of more than 400 million copies. Much of his stories had film adaptation or television reception directed by major authors such as Stanley Kubrick. The Shining is a horror novel by American author Stephen King. Published in 1977, it's King's third published novel and first hardback bestseller, and the success of the book firmly established King as a prominent author in the horror genre. The setting and characters are influenced by King's personal experiences, including both his visit to Stanley Hotel in 1974 and his recovery from alcoholism. The Shining centers on the life of Jack Torrance, an aspiring writer and recovered alcoholic, who accepts a position as the off-season caretaker of the historic Overlook Hotel in the Colorado Rockies. His family accompanies him on this job, including his young son Danny. Danny possesses the Shining that allows Danny to see the horrific past of the hotel. Jack hopes that the seclusion at the hotel will help him reconnect with his family and give him the motivation needed to work on a play. As the Torrances settle at the Overlook, Danny sees frightening ghosts and visions. Although Danny is close to his parents, he does not tell either of them about his visions because he senses that the caretaking job is important to his father and the family's future. When he considered leaving Jack at the Overlook to finish the job on his own, Danny refuses, thinking his father will be happier if they stay. However, Danny soon realizes that his presence in the hotel makes the supernatural activity more powerful, turning echoes of the past tragedy into dangerous threats. Apparitions take form, and the garden's topiary animals come to life. The Overlook has difficulty possessing Danny, so it begins to possess Jack with his frustrating need and desire to work. Jack starts to develop cabin fever, and the sinister ghosts of the hotel gradually begin to overtake him, making him increasingly unstable. One day, after a fight with Wendy, Jack finds the hotel's bar fully stocked with alcohol, despite being previously empty, and witnesses a party at which he meets the ghost of a bartender named Lyod. As he gets drunk, the hotel urges Jack to kill his wife and son. He initially resists, but the increasing influence of the hotel proves too great. He becomes a monster under the control of the hotel, truly unable to control his dark side. Wendy and Danny get the better of Jack, locking him into the walk-in pantry, but the ghost of Double Grady releases him after he makes Jack promise to bring him Danny and to kill Wendy. Jack attacks Wendy with one of the hotel rock mallets, but she escapes to the character's suite and locks herself in the bathroom. Jack tries to break the door with the mallet, but she slashes his hand with a razor blade to slow him down. Meanwhile, Dick Halloran, the Overlook's head chef and a telepath like Danny, receive a psychic distress call from Danny while working at a winter resort in Florida. Halloran rushes back to the Overlook, only to be attacked by the topiary animals and badly injured by Jack. As Jack pursues Danny through the Overlook, he briefly gains control of himself just long enough to tell Danny to run away. The hotel takes control of Jack again, causing him to violently batter his own face and skull with the mallet so Danny can no longer recognize him. And Danny tells him that the unstable boiler in the basement is about to explode. Jack hurries down to relieve the pressure as Danny, Wendy, and Halloran flee. Jack is too late. The boiler explodes and destroys the Overlook. Fighting off a last attempt by the hotel to possess him, Halloran guides Danny and Wendy to safety. The book's epilogue is set during the next summer. Halloran, who has taken a chef job at a resort in Maine, comforts Danny over the loss of his father. The Shining was adapted into a feature film in 1980 by director Stanley Kubrick, with a screenplay co-written with Diane Johnson, which is regarded by some as one of the greatest films of all time. King himself was disappointed with the movie, stating it had abandoned several of his book's major themes. The Shining was later adapted into a television miniseries in 1997, closely monitored by King to ensure it followed the book. King wrote the series himself. When Stephen King saw the movie, he was disappointed because it was not very coherent to his novel. In response, Kubrick stated that the book was not such a masterpiece. Even the death of Jack Torrance is different. In the book, it is caused by the bursting of a boiler, and the hotel is destroyed by the explosion and the ensuing fire. In the film, however, Jack, with the intention to kill Danny, got lost in the labyrinth of the Overlook Hotel and froze to death. In addition, Jack and Wendy are considerably younger in the book, only 30 years old. In the book, Jack used a rock bath to attack his family, while in the movie has an axe. In fact, Halloran, when hit by Jack in the book, survives, while in the film he dies. Kubrick has replaced the hedge shaped like animals, which come alive at night and attack Halloran, Danny and Wendy, with a hedge maze. In the book, the car of Jack is a red beetle, while in the film is a yellow one. We can also notice that while Halloran is reaching the hotel in the middle of winter, he sees an accident on the highway. The car involved is a red beetle, as if to say, "Hey King, that's what I do with your car. I destroy it."